welcome to this Sunday's episode of It's in the Blood. I'm going to preview Miller Kopp today. I don't feel like it deserves a highlight reel and an analogy of his play style and play because I figure most anybody that's in here that's watching this video has watched Big Ten games in the past and they kind of know what they're getting. But I do want to talk a little bit about Miller's drive for the game. You know, the one thing I noticed about the kid when he plays, by the way, he's a 6'7" forward. He can shoot the ball, dribble pretty well. He comes off the picks really well, sets his feet, squares up really good. He's got that range capability, and he also can play inside a little bit. Kind of that positionless player that everybody keeps talking about, you know, that's getting to be so big. He's, like I said, he's a 6'7", 10, 11-point game guy, 3 rebounds, 39% from the floor, 31% from three-point land. He kind of is he's kind of a really strange fit into this group because you see at times under Chris Collins that Miller had the ability to almost take over games, and the level of intensity in which he approached the way that he played basketball there was pretty unique. I've watched games and I've seen him just so focused and fired up that it just looks like, man, that's the kind of guy that I want to see on my team. But then there's also times that I watch him play and it's almost like Jerome Hunter. I see him lost in translation sometimes and not so much into the game. Now, I don't know why he has those issues per se. That may be a product of something that was going on within Northwestern and, you know, in playing there. I'm not sure. But he was really hot and cold. You know, he was really hit or miss. Hopefully guys like Dame 5 can keep his intensity level up and get him to work on his focus and for the game that he's going to play here at IU. Another guy that has a ton of potential to really fill up the scoring columns. I really, with this lineup of guys that are in here, look forward to them being a more fast-paced offense, spread the floor, and just let it fly type of deal. But I expect a heavy influence of man-to-man and hard-nosed defense and rebounding to kind of come into play as well. So, you know, if you're on this team and you want to play, the defensive end is going to be your way onto the court. And then if you can score a few baskets, you might stay there. Another thing about Miller is the way that he was brought up and how competitive he was within his own family. If you haven't watched that, I think it was one of the Big Ten shows on the Big Ten Network that talked a little bit about his growing up and how competitive him and his brothers were, and how, you know, the dad was more of a referee than a father sometimes because they were all into sports. I think he has 3 brothers and they're all within 6 years of one another. So growing up in that household and just has to be, you know, something that's real important. He seems like, you know, he really seems like one of those old school Indiana players. You know, I mean, I know that this isn't the right analogy, but, you know, the farm kid from Indiana that sits in the backyard and shoots 300 three-pointers a night for his opportunity to get into the big game, that kind of kid. Going forward this year, like I've mentioned before, I really think that this year is going to be a challenge. I think you're going to see Mike Woodson run a lot of guys onto the floor. I think there's going to be ample minutes for anybody that can go out there and play offense and defense. I look forward to seeing if Miller Kopp can stand up and be a leader on this team and work his way into a full-time starting job, or if he's going to be that 6th man guy kind of again. But he should be somewhere middle to top of the pack for this group. I really think that, you know, hopefully a new environment for him, Xavier and Parker Stewart. Xavier and Parker were at Pitt. They didn't do so well there. I didn't really look at Tennessee Martin's record when Parker Stewart was there, but Northwestern hasn't had a winning program. Learning how these guys coming in here to learn how to win. That's, I think, going to be one of the biggest challenges for this team early in the season is learning how to win games, learning how to put away games, and learning how to get back in games that don't go their way. Stoked and look forward to the rest of this series. The next video that will be coming your way is going to be my favorite to make, I think, because I am very high on Tamar Bates. I think that he is probably one of the better prospects that we might see in college basketball this year as a freshman. I think he's going to develop very well. Going forward, if you are new to my channel, and you haven't seen us before, Alex and I, we live stream on Mondays, usually around 6 o'clock, and then Thursday nights late. We talk a lot more football. College football is going to be a big subject coming up shortly, and Tom Allen and the Hoosiers are big on my list this year. Please like, subscribe, and share, and if you check out our socials, they're all in the description, and I will see you guys on the next one.